Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm extra happy today because our friend and rector, Father Rick O'Brien, has returned from a 2-week vacation. That's why, do you see the calm in the area of the eyes here? What looks like a little bit of a tan, am I right?
Little tan, little fatter in the face, certainly in the belly.
We're not seeing that, Rick. We're just seeing joy.
But it's okay.
We're seeing peace and true restoration that only comes from godly retreat.
And it was, it was pretty amazing, and it was great to be away, and it is also great to be back. I am abundantly grateful to the parish for giving me this time of respite and renewal, because I feel that both have taken place. And I'm also incredibly grateful to my friend and colleague, Father Chris, for keeping the lights on and the trains running on time. You were in great hands, and I knew you always would be.
Well, could I be like your third grade teacher, since, well, especially live stream viewers, they've had plenty of me. So could I be like your third grade teacher then, Rick, and say, would you tell us what you did on your summer vacation? Because we're actually truly curious. And
Sure.
Maybe given that you've got a collar and that you're a priest, if your understanding of your summer vacation took on a spiritual revelation or two, that would be great to hear too.
I can do that. So this time away, this vacation, actually was more than a year in the making. We have some amazing friends. He was my college roommate. She was Jen's college roommate. And, you know, we have been friends for 35 years now, more. And so this was a big deal because in the past year, we both hit our 30th wedding anniversary. So we said this time we're shooting the moon. We're going to do a trip to Disneyland, and then we're flying to Hawaii. We're going to spend a week in Hawaii, and we're going to come back. And they have a son in San Diego, so we were going to go to San Diego and see their son, my nephew. And it was truly, it was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime type of trip. And that, my friends, we're going to call Plan A.
Of which none of it happened.
Very little of Plan A actually took place. And so I was thinking about this live stream as I was driving to church today, and if I'd had the time, I was going to just get a whole big sheet of papers and say, you know, Plan A, and throw it away, and Plan B, throw that away, and very theatrically go through all of them. And the reason I was going to do that was, A, it would have been good theater, but B, because we actually took to calling this trip Plan J. That was about as far as we got through this, because it kept morphing and kept changing, and we kept having to make adjustments. And what we actually wound up doing when all was said and done was we didn't get to Disneyland and we didn't get to Hawaii, but instead we rented a condo in Bryan Head, Utah, where we spent a week, and from there, that was kind of our base of operations. From there, we drove to pretty much all the national parks that were within driving distance. And so we were at the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, we were in Bryce, we were in Zion, we were at Cedar Breaks. We actually took the lift to the top of Bryan Head and hiked down. We did some wonderful hiking, much more exercise than I had thought we were going to, which was wonderful. And then we took a couple of days back here in Vegas as an interim, and we did wind up getting to San Diego to see their son, and we spent a couple of days down on the beach. So it was a wonderful trip. Plan J worked. And to answer the question you asked about the theological impact of that, here's what I want to impart to you, my friends. Had we, because it was the four of us who were part of this trip, had we held tightly to Plan A and grieved the loss of Plan A, we would have missed the wonder and the beauty and the blessing of Plan J. We had a very brief time of sort of grieving over what we weren't able to do, but instead we moved past that quickly and invested ourselves in the blessing that God had given us. And Plan J, my friends, worked out wonderfully.
Now, of course, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's listening to notice that Plan J is the first letter of Jesus. Are you setting that up, or is that an accident?
No, that's a complete accident. It was just, it became sort of a facetious thing as as our plans started to fall away like dominoes over the past 6 months. It was like, well, we talked about Plan B, and then we talked about Plan C. And once we got to about D or E, I finally just started facetiously calling it Plan J.
I see. I thought that this was a
there's
setup.
No Jesus denouement coming
every
on
time
that
I
one.
heard Plan J, I was thinking, oh, come on, bring it, Pastor. He's gonna bring it home to Jesus and say that sisters, brothers, always go with Plan J, even if it means A, B through whatever comes letter before J, H, I.
We'll get there.
Right, all get sacrificed, but bring the J plan.
No, but that was really what I wanted people to get your mind around is don't, especially in this COVID time, don't hold so tightly to the things that we're not able to do. We're sitting in the church this morning, and I did that intentionally because A, I missed it, and B, I wanted to be in the church when I talked about the loss of Plan A. Because I know Plan A for all of us is to be sitting in this church together just like we were in January, worshiping and singing and hugging and shaking hands and being in physical communion with one another. But that's not possible at the moment. It will be again, but it's not at the moment. Plan J is very different than that. But there's beauty in Plan J, and the way you experience the beauty in Plan J is by not holding too tightly to what you lost with Plan A. You look for the blessing that God has given you in Plan J, and you find a way to make that your own. And there's a couple of ways to do that. While I was away, y'all started meeting for live worship in our courtyard at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings. Praise God, what a wonderful thing. It's not what we did before, but it's more than we've been doing. And so there's an example of how Plan J can work for us, and we can live into that.
Well, I want to jump in there really quickly and say Plan J often incorporates some of the best, at least themes or energies of Plan A through I. And I know I mentioned this in a live stream or two, but I would rather repeat myself and say thrice to make sure everybody's heard it at least once. The reason we had these last 2 8 a.m. services that were absolutely blessed and beautiful on the patio here at Epiphany is because Rick dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's at these significant requirements of the diocese. And even while planning for vacation, where you're already busy enough, he did a last minute, even a sort of a photo suggestion to offer to the standing committee and the diocesan chancellor. And that is why we could do it. So belated but gigantic thanks for empowering that service. The good part of Plan A became the Plan J, and that's why we're having the outdoor service right now. Did you hear that thank you?
I did hear the thank you, and I appreciate it.
And we're all feeling it, not just me, because the 2 8 a.m. services we had were absolutely blessed and magical.
That's what I'm given to understand, and I'm so looking forward to being able to worship with you this coming Sunday. Believe me, it makes my heart sing. But even beyond that, we will have other opportunities. For example, also this coming Sunday at 4 o'clock in our parking lot, safely, socially distanced, we have an opportunity to come together for the blessing of the animals. Bring your pet. I was going to say your dog or your cat, but there are more than that. Bring your pet in the car with you, or bring a picture of your pet, or perhaps even a picture of a pet who has crossed the Rainbow Bridge for whom you would like us to pray. Drive to our church, and Father Chris and I will be working our way through and spending some time with each family and each carload and blessing your pets, and we're looking forward to that time. I know we have also historically made this the time of our parish picnic, and we're not able to do that in the same way. Plan A is not going to work, but Plan J is alive and well, my friends. And so, if you are so inclined, pack a picnic, bring your own lawn chairs, and drive to our huge parking lot, park your car, set up your chairs, pull out a picnic lunch, and just be in relationship with one another. We can't gather with hugs and handshakes, but we can do a lot of smiling and waving from a safe distance. So, two wonderful opportunities to experience the beauty of Plan J. And does that work? Take it from me, it does.
Totally.
It does, and it will. And
even just the detail of the passing of the peace, Father Rick cautiously and appropriately, when you constructed the service proposal for the diocese, said, we'll remove the passing of the peace. But Maggie Davidson very nicely said, actually it works. Have people just wave and, not shout hellos, but speak at volume.
Right.
And I've seen now at 8 a.m. patio services, it works perfectly. And that same spirit can fill a picnic October 4th at 4 p.m.
Absolutely.
With lots of love and lots of joy. We just don't stop socially distancing.
That's right.
But spiritually, there is no distance.
So take some hope and some solace from this, my friends, for God continues to be at work among us. And even if Plan A isn't going to work for us, Plan J is there, and there's beauty in Plan J if we will but open ourselves to it. That's the thought for the day, and I think that's an appropriate place to leave it. I'm thrilled to be back. I am just overwhelmed with joy to be one of the priests at this parish. Thank you. Thank you for the time away. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to return. May God bless you. May God love you. Know that you are loved, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.